and welcome to Economic Forum. My name is Napoleon Yani. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Zimbabwe is still in a celebratory mood because we had a very successful election. They were very peaceful. Zimbabweans have come of age. We all went peacefully to the ballots, and that is to be commended. The SADC recently actually put a stamp of approval on our elections. Even Botswana, who were skeptical at the beginning, but now they've come and said, well, you know what? This was a great election. So thank you, Zimbabweans, and well done to you. But as Economic Forum, what we've decided is that it is important that Zimbabweans meet their elect members, the people that they elected. So we're bringing you some of the MPs that you elected into office. And today we'll start with Dr. Godfrey Gandawa from Magunje, the MP-elect for Magunje. Doc, welcome to Economic Forum.
Thank you, Napoleon.
Now, who is Dr. Godfrey Gandawa?
Godfrey Gandawa is born at Mudzimu in Magunje 37 years ago. Grew up there, did my primary school at Mudzimu, then secondary school at Mudzimu, then my A-level at Magunje High School. Then went to NAST and I did a degree in computer science. Then moved on to Chinhoyi University, I did my master's there. Then I went to Stellenbosch, I did my doctor in information systems, doctor of philosophy in information systems.
So are you back in Magunje now?
I'm back in Magunje now.
Born, bred, raised in Magunje, went out to get knowledge, now you're back in Magunje.
Yes, I'm back in Magunje to represent my community, yes.
Politically, you've told us a bit of your personal and academic history. Politically, when did you get into politics? And why, if I may ask?
Yeah, I got into politics in 1995 as a youth in the youth wing of ZANU-PF. Then moved up in year 2000. I decided to join active politics when we were doing the land reform program. Yeah, as a youth, I thought it was our chance to get up there and do what the Revolutionary Party had done. So I am the first youth in Shurugwi then to take land from a white man who was called Anderson. They popularly call him Mangwende.
You were the first youth?
I was the first youth in Shurugwi to take land from a white man, Anderson Mangwende. Then I had another gentleman called Mudzengi, Nicholas Mudzengi. The two of us went there and said to the man, hey, we want to take back our land. Yeah. Then thereafter, we had to ask the DA then, who was called Takavarasha, to give us people that we thought were going to settle in that farm. And currently, they are settled in that farm.
So that's when you became active in politics. You're a young man. You mentioned you're 37 years old. Yeah. How has it been, first of all, in ZANU-PF, for young people like you to get up to these ranks and actually campaign and become politicians? First of all, in ZANU-PF, and then in the general political platform in the country. How has it been for youth?
Yeah, you realize ZANU-PF as a party requires youth who are determined to excel. They require us. But it is difficult, in the political dynamics for you to come from nowhere and then rise to yourself unless you have to distinguish yourself among them and say, hey, I'm a young man, but I'm willing to join you. I want to learn from you. It's a learning party, as I call it. That's why you find us today. We are there.
But let's come now to the election, these harmonized elections that have just happened. You contested and you won a parliamentary seat in Magunje. How did you do it?
Right. I would call it was not an easy road to be elected into parliament. Mm-hmm. Because firstly, as you know, there is primary elections. Like in my constituents, we were 8 candidates vying for that seat.
In the primaries?
In the primary elections, yes. But since 2008, I developed an organization called Gandawa Development Foundation, which spearheaded development in the constituents. As Magunje is known, I would say we are not in the map currently, which is my target to make sure Magunje gets onto the map. You realize we are underdeveloped there, our schools are underdeveloped, our road infrastructure is underdeveloped and so on. Okay. So I targeted mostly the schools because you realize our schools are low. It's actually queer for people to hear there is a doctor coming from Magunje. Because of that, I realized we have to develop our schools so that at least we can enlighten our community. We have 15 secondary schools and 30 primary schools. But you realize among them, maybe 7 or 8 are the ones that actually have the proper infrastructure. The rest did not have. Yeah. So I went in there, started to develop with the community, because you'll be having constraints in resources. So I talked to chiefs, and Masabugu. Then we join up hands to construct at least schools. That's how I got into development.
Is that what then gave you an upper hand in the primaries?
That's what gave me an upper hand into the primaries. Because nearly at every primary school and secondary school, I had done something. Yeah, so they would realize and say, hey, this is good. At least maybe you can represent us better.
Okay, the primary elections were within the party. What was then your method in terms of campaigning for the parliamentary seat, which is a different ballgame altogether?
Since I had already started, it's cumulative to say when you start constructing schools, you don't construct them in one day, or you are helping the community here and there. So it was just a continuation of the work that I had already done. Unlike in most cases, we don't go to our communities. We only go when we want to be voted into office. But to me, it looked like, it's just a continuation of what I have been doing already. So they thought, he has been doing it before he was asking to be voted in. So it was just a continuation.
It became your lifestyle, so to say.
And the people from the opposition, they done nothing, completely nothing. So it actually was an easy contest for me in the main elections than in the primary elections.
Easy, he says. Yeah. Well, then, you mentioned that it was easy. The people of Magunje are watching right now. What plans do you have for them going into the future?
Yeah, like I mentioned, the schools there are in a pathetic state. It is my wish to make sure that I continue to develop the schools, especially the secondary schools. Then maybe my target is I have to establish 3 science laboratories, especially at Magunje High, Mudzimu High, and Chidamoyo High. Then it would maybe assist now in having our secondary schools develop science in our community. Then maybe we can have a number of doctors from there. So their schools, I'm targeting them. Then our road infrastructure is quite bad. It really needs some serious overhaul. That's my major target also, to look into how I can assist the community so that we have our infrastructure okay. Then being a rural community also, it's a rural constituency. Through the land reform, that has been embarked, indigenization is our ZANU-PF theme and empowerment. So I'm looking also into trying to train. Many people know in Magunje there we have tobacco, cotton, and so on. It is my thrust then to train, because food security is the core of our livelihood. Sure. So it is my core also to try and set up a training institute for our people in the community. It is to train into agriculture and other activities that could assist them develop our community.
Dr. Godfrey Gandawa, thank you so much for joining us on Economic Forum.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Really appreciate it. Stay tuned to Economic Forum. In the next segment, we'll have another gentleman who you will be interested to meet because you elected him into power. You're watching